Today we are talking about 15 ways to develop self-awareness. A study shows that 95% of the people think they are self-aware, but in reality, only about 10 or 15% truly are. This study also showed that focusing on developing your self-awareness directly affects your chance of success, but strong lack of self-awareness does the exact opposite. People who lack self awareness have a poor understanding of their decision impact in their life. In fact, the lack of self awareness can cut your chance of success in half. And in this article, you will find, will learn in detail about those of 15 ways of develop of our self awareness. So we are starting by number one. Know your strengths. How many times have you heard the word you are unique? Probably 1,000 times, right? But they have overstopped to wonder why each human being is unique. And despite there has been over 7 billions of scholars around the world, well, most of us are defined by our strengths, and understanding the strengths is a sure a way to become more self-aware. So the thought of every individual is a different, and that how everyone is noticed. Why are the strengths important? So they are because they will give you a sense of direction and also determine what steps you need to take to reach your goals. And it shows whatever you want. However, the depth is not only limited in your strength, your conscious choose and effort is something that matter as well. So number two, know your weakness. Well, while your weaknesses shouldn't play an important role in your personal development and the self-awareness journey, it is important that you identify them. Never let your weakness to come in your path. An understanding of your weakness reflects your limits, and is a great way to assess your skills and development areas. It will help you out in certain ways, which will ultimately enhance your personality. Now, remember that your weakness do not define you. You just have it to be mindful of them. This knowledge will help you know when you should reach out of assistance and also when you should face things in your number three. Curious about yourself. It isn't weird that most of the people go through life believing that they know everything about themselves. People really didn't know anything about themselves, even though there are over 7 billion people of everyone in unique in very interesting ways. So to become self-aware, they must be become honestly curious about themselves. Take the time to understand how your mind works and reflect on what they find and learn about your body. Know what trigger you, what calm you, and what pushes you over the age. So sometimes people can get too scared to find out certain things about themselves. But if total self-awareness is your goal, then you really have to go down the path, no matter how ugly it may seem. And number four, let your guard down. No, this sounds like bad advice, but it isn't just to give you the chance to explain how you ever notice how defensive you get when you notice something completely different about yourself, especially something you didn't like. Well, that you're an instinctual already try to protect you. But that is what you should rather do instead of judging yourself or choosing and ignore this newfound information. Let you well down and learn more about this part of yourself. Understand that it is perfectly fine to discover now bits of yourself as it goes on, even if it doesn't completely feel it prevails understanding of yourself. Also, number five, number six, number five, for example, number five, sorry, always ask for feedback. So learn about yourself. That means it can be difficult task, but you have the option to ask others what is the thing about you, what kind of thought They had when you first meet them, how they judge your appearance. Not only does this make the whole learning process a whole lot easier, it is also a for you chance to learn entirely new things about yourself. Feedback from employee could help you see something about yourself that you never even considered in this first place. However, it's in asking for feedback, always make sure it is from people who know you enough to have an opinion. Also, trust is necessary factor. So make sure you are asking someone you trust for feedback. But everyone knows that the truth about feedback. It can be difficult to accept criticism, especially if it doesn't sound too good to your ears. However, that's where the hard work comes in. You have to be willing to see things from their own perspective to have even wider understanding of yourself. Common constructive criticism isn't an attack on your personal, rather it is valuable tools for self-development and growth. Considering that criticism, you can make a better version of yourself. Number six, question your value and opinions. Who says your core value can't change? In fact, challenge your value and opinion is valid way to learn more about yourself and to be bring visible and wise improvement to your life. Most times, your values are close reflection of who really are, and challenging in them put in as fact as face to face with your thought process, opinion, behavior, and also the basis that resulted from the thoughts. But don't get that wrong. Challenging your values and your opinion isn't to prove yourself wrong. It's really just a chance to explore the possibility that your value can change and that thought change actually sure to scare you. Number seven, recognize your core values. It is enough. It is enough that you have question your core value, and it is equally important that you recognize your core value and understand why they matter to you. Those values will give you a why when things get dark and rough. They will push you to try, even when every bone in your body doesn't want to. So understanding your value also means you'll have a clearer knowledge of what you wanted to from life and what you need to do that get that. And unfortunately, when you have no clear idea of your values, you may fall into the trap of doing things that aren't exactly beneficial to you. So, are you sure? Are you worried about how you find your core values? So you can get started by asking your trusted friends, and or you can try to more complicated yet more effective method of self-reflection. So try to remember the moment of true happiness or moment of sadness and seek out your value that stood firmly in the ground during this moment. And the number eight, know what trigger you. So everybody has that one thing that trigger them, and even Supermar, despite all of these things, cannot stand in your crypto needs. And come to think it of it on the how bad could be things get for Superman if he didn't find out in a time that the crypto needs could trigger him and making him define clothes. And pretty bad, right? Well, that have bad things can get on your self-awareness journey if you fail to find out and acknowledge your trail. So the importance of understanding your trigger is to help you develop ways you can cope with them and how you even react to them. And number nine becomes self-discipline. That's very, very important thing. So self-discipline is one of the most important values for every person out there. It is the ability to control your emotion, argue thought, and of course behaviors despite temptation, impulse, and this trait is an important tool in becoming self-awareness as it's helping you stay 100% focused on what you need to do or what is more beneficial for you and what will make you the most disciplined and inclined person. So it is also important to note that self-discipline helps you build healthy habit and develop your potential, scratch your limits, all of which are even more important in developing your self-awareness. And number 10, be open. How do you think that the idea of self awareness will be approach you when you will not be active enough to deal with it? So, this is because your opinion to learn more about yourself, make it is easier to accept that not so beautiful parts while also making a conscious effort in making this part better. Being open also makes it easier to change your value and chance to do certain subjects, especially when you learn more. So do you away with the mindsets that cause sadness or despair, be open to learn that you can be happier no matter what. So adapting an open-minded mindset will help you improve your self-awareness. Also, there will be multiple new things happening in your daily lives. On the number 11, meditation. Meditate or meditation. That means if you had to give a word to the most effective method in this article, there is a high chance of they will be given to this a will to be a practice called meditation. Meditation has a ton of benefits, but one of these most important benefits is ability to improve your self-awareness. So, in fact, meditation hinges on using self-awareness to achieve number of other benefits. So, during meditation, you became super aware of your surrounding, and you become even more aware of yourself, and you can hear the rhythm of your body. You can almost see the blood flowing through every part of it. And that in that moment, you will feel genuine peace within you, and it will also bring you close to understanding yourself. What makes meditation more interesting is that the fact that this simply and effect practice can help you reflecting your life, which is in turn another great way of developing your self-awareness. So to understand your self-awareness during the meditation process, you can ask yourself a question like, who am I? Which value truly represents the core of my being? And what I'm doing right now, and I am doing wrong, or what are the things I can change and control about myself? So try them. The answer this question will definitely give you a lot of things about that. So on the number 12 is to write things down. So most people have an idea of how much writing can be helpful and how much positively they will be feeling their life. So well, in case you don't know, writing remains one of the most effective way of keeping track of your progress, whether you like it or not. So you can write down the daily goals you completely, perhaps with the how you felt at the time. So and why you complete those goals, and the daily breakdown of these goals will show you how far you have come and what you need to do and go even further. On the number 13 is take tests. That means take tests is self-awareness involves you learn about yourself. So it is really be hard to try to out of a few psychometric tests, right? So while the answer from those tests aren't 100% of accurate. So thanks to how unique and complicated human beings really are. So they are enough to point you in the right direction. For starters, the Myers-Briggs personality test or Big Five personality test are great way to start learning more about your personality type. So the result will definitely improve your self-awareness journey. So number 13, try new experiences. That means here is one interesting discovery that is made along the way, choosing to immerse yourself in your new experiences can improve your self-awareness. How so? This is a largely due to the fact that new experiences push you out of your comfort zone, and it forces you to think and act in an uncomfortable and unfamiliar situation. So while you run away or will you face this head on, be sure to keep in mind that your answer to this question will be determine how much this affect your self-awareness level. Also, new experience that they didn't have to improve do not have involve a difficult task in or situation. It could be as simple as visiting a new city, going to party, or meeting new people. So no matter how a great or an awful experience turn out to be, they are very sure you will be learn one or two new things about themselves. Oh, number four or 15, read more fiction. So, interesting fact, there is a bit of connection between reading fiction and improving self-awareness. How? That means a study in 2016, in 2006, showed that people who read more factional work are more likely to develop empathy and better social skills. So, this means that the reading level novels make it easier to put yourself in the shoes of others. So, guess what this does eventually? It teaches you how to see yourself objectively, and this way you are more likely to notice your flaw and can make an effort to become better. So that's the last one is number 16. Keep checking with yourself. That is the whole you learn about the 15 ways of developing the self-awareness. And in the last, that is very important. Always keeping checking yourself. That means developing your self-awareness is a long process, not even for 1 week or 2 weeks or something, but it's a long process. And even if you are want to speed things up, you cannot become fully self-aware in a day or in a week. But there is a things, no matter how long it goes, don't forget it to always checking in with yourself. Ask yourself how the entire process is making you feel and what will be making you feel that way. Developing your self-awareness and can be difficult, but consistent checking will help you keep track of your progress. That is very, very important. Almost a 16 or 15 way of developing self-awareness. I hope you are learning from this. Thank you very much. I will continue. I will come with another important things uh, next time. Okay. Thank you.
عاي فقري هبا هبا من ملسو عاي درب حدا دعو من تحزو عين سبعة يبقون يزحلو نزفترس حدا